Osama Nazzal joins us now live from the occupied West Bank city of Jenin. Osama, what are you hearing about what's happening in northern Gaza, and what's your take on this? And also, how are people reacting where you are?
What we hear of the north of Gaza is what no human being can stand or bear. It is really not only heartbreaking. Heartbreaking is not an enough expression to talk about what's happening in North Gaza. It is full decimation of the people in North Gaza. It is full destruction of everything in Gaza. It is putting an end to any potential or any possibility for life in Gaza. It is the destruction of hospitals. It is the destruction of schools. It is the destruction of housing units. It is the destruction of the human soul itself. And that is the Israeli policy, and that is the Israeli plan to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip and to replace the indigenous people of Gaza with the Jewish settlers coming from different areas of the world. And we hear
Osama,
of the number of Israeli families registered to settle there.
Osama, and it just seems that nobody right now can stop what is happening in northern Gaza. And what does this mean under international law?
It means the absence of the conscience of humanity in our world. It means the impotence and the failure of the so-called international community. It means Israel's murder not only of the Palestinians, but Israel's murder of the human values in the world. Israel's murder of the international law, the international human rights law. It means that if Gaza is lost, it means that the world lost its humanity, because we can't imagine how the leaders in the world, how the governments in the world, how the United Nations, the International Security Council are watching the bodies of the Palestinian children being butchered and shredded by the Israeli bombs, and they do nothing. Israel now is exploiting the transitional period in the United States as Biden is leaving office, and it will take the benefit from that in order to increase its crimes against humanity, kill more Palestinians, and finish off its mission, the mission of having without any Palestinians.
Osama, that point that you just made right now, that Israel is exploiting this transitional phase right now in the United States as we go from one president to the other. And it really just seems like they have carte blanche to do whatever they can, as Mohammed Al-Qassim was saying, to stop the work of UNRWA. And now, I'll use the word depopulate, for want of a better word, of the citizens of northern Gaza. But just for you there in the occupied West Bank, earlier on our program, Fatah Elwan said that living there in the occupied West Bank was like a cage, because you have very strict timings now. How worried are the people now when they look at what's happening in Gaza, in northern Gaza, in Lebanon, to the future there of occupied West Bank?
Yes, first of all, the people in the West Bank are killed every day by watching their brothers and their families being butchered in Gaza. And the Israeli occupation army and settler violence against the people in the West Bank is also very dangerous and very serious. Over the past 3 days, Israel killed more than 8 Palestinians in the northern part of the West Bank and destroyed large areas in the city of Jenin and the city of Tulkarem. So Israel is working to push the Palestinians out of the West Bank, but not using the same method it's using in Gaza. In Gaza, it is mass murder. But here in the West Bank, I call it partial murder. But in the end, the plan is the same, and the murderer, the killer, is the same. So Israel, it dropped the term of peace from its dictionary, and the only language that it's using against the Palestinians is the language of the military power, unleashing its soldiers and its terrorist settler groups against all the people of Palestine, believing that the land without the Palestinians here would be a greater Israel forever.
Osama, thank you so much for speaking to us today on TRT World's News Hour. Osama Nazzal, we really appreciate your time and your comments. Thank you.
Thank you.